This is a Marantz and it's a CD-48. It's a typical kind of 1990s style. Although having said that, it's actually fairly modern to look at and quite straightforward. Less kind of features on this than on some of the other CD players at the time, but it does have peak search, which is good. I was talking about that earlier on the Technics I was looking at, and it's even got the headphones and a level as well, so not too bad. Let's just turn this on. So I've not tested this, so I don't know what kind of state it's in. And close. Oh, that's nice. It finds the table of contents. And seems to seat nicely. Nice display actually. Okay, let's get the headphones in this. Okay, it's not as loud on the headphones as the Technics one was. That was deafening, but it's loud enough and it seems competent enough. It will be a good one to compare to my other players. I think the only criticism people make about this one is that it is maybe a bit light in the bass. Quite good for kind of poppy stuff, but that pays to be seen. Yeah. Well, not much else I can say actually. This one I don't think has been taken apart. It's nice to see that the bout is still working well on the drawer. So they tend to be the things that go. And the screws don't look like they've been touched actually. Yeah, so this is coming from a time when outsourcing to different countries was a big thing. So this is Indonesia, but it says it's been designed and engineered by Marantz in Japan. And it's just got a coaxial, so a poor man's digital out there, and analog output right and left there. So not much to see there. It just says produced under supervision of Marantz Japan in Indonesia. And it's a CD-4805B. So I would probably hazard a guess that this sort of thing is probably worth around £30 to sell, and would make a good kind of starter CD player for anyone. Now that CDs are starting to show signs of coming back a little bit more. Another CD player. This one is a Marantz CD player CD6002. It features CD text playback, also MP3 and Windows Media Audio. The MP3 I think goes up to 320 kilobits. It's quite a straightforward looking machine. It has a fully featured remote, which will give you a lot more functions than you can see here, so that really is needed. It has a hyper dynamic amplifier module, which is supposed to enhance the quality of the sound. The DAC is a Series Logic DAC, and I think this machine is, or was at the time, was the kind of top end CD player when all the other CD players were actually enhanced CD players, so the SACD format. But anyway, this just plays standard CDs, although I mentioned before it will play MP3s as well, as long as the discs have all been kind of set up for that, and you do that on a computer. Alright, let's see if we can open this thing. Oh, someone's left a CD in there. Interesting. It's supposed to have very good access in terms of going between tracks, I think, as long as it's a CD and not a data disc like an MP3. Let's just try and see how quick it is. Not the quickest at reading the table of contents, but I think it's the actual seeking is quick. Pretty good. So another CD player that luckily is working from my collection of joblot items, which I am trying out one by one on the hi-fi system to see what I like the sound of best. And at the moment I've got a Technics, which is my main one, which I've kind of retired for a little bit, and I'm playing with a Philips CD350, which I did a review on, and I wasn't too sure about the sound, but it's grown on me, and I am using that at the moment. And what amazes me is it's able to play back CDRs as well, which for the age of the machine is really, really good. So let's get the headphones in on this one. Well, it's a nice, looking machine for sure. The display's nice as well. Okay. It sounds pretty detailed, so doesn't sound too trebly, so I think there's enough kind of depth there, so I think it's pretty good from first sort of hearing on the headphone jack. And I have got a remote for it, which I will try to dig out. In the meantime, let's have a look at the back of this. Oh my gosh, it's heavy. So it's heavy where the transformer goes. So here, basically, this end where the mains is. So it's pretty unbalanced actually. I've got it just propped on the table here, but this is definitely heavy end. So without going in and looking underneath, it's probably pretty chunky, I would say. It's got an analog output, right and left, coaxial, digital and optical digital, and it's got a remote control in out here. So this must be maybe to marry it up with other components. That's what I think that was. And it says made in China, but designed by Marantz. I can't say it, can I? Model number CD6002, and it's a little bit on the juicy side, 19 watts, so it does seem to be drawing a bit more current. This is the remote. Shame it's not black really, but anyway, let's just see if it's working. And it is. What's the sound mode? Audio EX off, and then various different modes. So yeah, I don't know what those are. AMS, A and B. That's when you want to go and keep repeating a certain part of the disc, isn't it? Random, program, cancel, scroll, recall, display, text. Oh, yeah. No text on this one. Time. Interestingly, I did see on here it's got pitch control. So you can basically slow it up or speed it up. I wonder what percentage that is. You know, how much quicker. So that's the pitch. There's input and volume. Let's stop that a minute. Yeah, just as I thought, it's not going to do anything, is it? Oh look, it says amp. So it's interchangeable with a amp. Well, that's good. All the regular kind of controls in there. There's even a menu, but I guess that's... oh no. Ooh. So peak search, is it? No. What does that do? Peak. Enter. Oh, there we go. Peak search. Looking for the loudest part again. And you've got edit on here. Oh, that's good. It's got support for the tapes, different tape sizes. So that's useful. I'm just going to try to get out of there. Return if I can. And just turn it on off. Oh, it's remembered it. Okay, let's go. Enter. Okay, see. Yeah, it thinks it's going to do a C90 now. So I'll just play. And then stop. Stop. It won't let me. It's literally like an override. Nothing defeats turning it on and off, does it? So quite useful to have then, married up with a cassette deck. So we got those, we got this here, so continuous, folder, continuous. Okay, so quick replay. Replay 10 seconds, okay. So anyway, that's another player, and I could have a go at loading up the MP3 side of it. Yeah, let's do that quickly. Try a MP3. Now I had another CD player that could read these fine. Can this one? They do take a little bit longer to load up sometimes. Yeah, the one I was thinking of is the Philips twin recorder. So playback and recorder side, that does playback MP3s but doesn't record them. It's not loading this disc, which is a shame. So it did load in the Philips. Maybe that it's a little bit marked, but it should have loaded. It should have loaded. It knows it's got something because it was flashing disc. There it is. Just a little bit stubborn to get going. Now we should see some text on here. There we go. And it's lit up the MP3 as well. So let's move on. And how do we go to folders? Well, I suppose I've got it set up to be continuous, so it's just going to go through all of them, isn't it? And then it's going to start selecting the next folder, or album, I should say. There you go. So we're on 3, it's Gorillas, and it's playing that fine. Okay, excellent. So another player that can play MP3, which I suppose defeats the object really, because most people, if they've got any MP3 discs, has probably got some poor ones like me, and this one is probably a 192 kilobits per second, and you ideally want 320 really, don't you, on something like this to listen to. Okay, well that's about it I think. Thanks for watching, and I will do more videos in the future. Bye for now.